It's one of the biggest tech urban legends of our time. The fact that your smartphone is constantly listening to your private conversations. And almost everyone swears they've seen the signs. You mentioned guacamole at lunch, and suddenly Instagram serves you that evening an ad for avocados. Coincidence? I think not. And many people don't think so. In fact, this rumor has been swirling for years, gaining almost mythical status. Posts on Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok, you name it, pop up daily with folks convinced their phone's mic is snooping. It's gotten to the point where a lot of us just assume it might be true. You see, every grand mystery starts with a single clue. And this one, it all started way back in 2014. Your Honor, may I present you Exhibit A? Facebook rolled out a feature that could use your phone's microphone to identify songs and TV shows while you were updating your status. Which is kinda like Shazam though. Objection! It was opt-in only. Nobody was forced, just a quirky gimmick. Like Shazam but inside Facebook. Quirky? I wouldn't call it quirky. To the public, it felt like a full-on Black Mirror episode, and within a month, Facebook had to deny it was always listening. But the seed of doubt was planted, and once doubt takes root, suspicion only grows further. Your Honor, may I present you another exhibit? Exhibit B, the Cambridge Analytica scandal from 2016 to 2018. A political firm harvesting data from tens of millions of profiles without any consent. Your Honor, this is absolutely unacceptable. Your Honor, data harvesting is not the same as microphone surveillance. It is totally irrelevant, Your Honor. Objection, if they could quietly vacuum up that much data for profit, why wouldn't people think they were secretly recording us too? The timing was perfect for paranoia, Your Honor. That's quite interesting, isn't it? But as you just heard, paranoia. And paranoia invites experiments. Hold on, you also have Exhibit C. Eventually, the media was overflowing with videos of YouTubers, bloggers, and couples whispering strange words into their phones to see if ads would appear. Your Honor, have a look for yourself. And later on, you have Exhibit D. A wedding conversation, followed minutes later by ads for catering. Yeah. Your Honor, it's just a coincidence. A mere coincidence. Order in the court. Order in the court. Defendant, you claim these eerie ads are mere coincidences. The jury demands more than just hand-waving. Present your arguments. Gladly, Your Honor. Let's put this myth to rest. First of all, 70,000 apps tested, thousands of hours of monitored data. Not a single shred of evidence that microphones were secretly transmitting conversations. Do you have any idea how insane it would be to record millions of people 24/7? That's an endless global Zoom call. The storage, the bandwidth, it's financially suicidal. And also, don't forget, Apple and Google built in the orange and green mic indicators. If apps were secretly hijacking the microphone, the whole world would notice when their phones would lit up like Christmas trees. And finally, the record is clear. Zuckerberg himself, before Congress, called this a conspiracy theory. Rob Goldman, the VP of ads, tweeted in 2017, "We have never used your microphone for ads." And these are sworn denials, Your Honor. So yes, coincidences happen. And no, there is no grand bug in your pocket. A strong defense, but the prosecution has yet to present Exhibits A through D in full. Prosecutor, care to proceed? Gladly, Your Honor. The defense hides behind the defense hides the defense hides behind technicalities, but the truth is staring at us in the face. For example, Exhibit A. Over 60% of Americans believe their smartphones are listening. Nearly 3 in 4 smart speaker owners think their devices are always listening. This isn't fringe paranoia, it's mainstream consensus across generations. The people themselves are suspicious. Suspicion doesn't equal proof at all. People believe in Bigfoot too. That doesn't mean he is in the witness stand. Your Honor, may I present you Exhibit B, viral anecdotes, the lifeblood of public conviction. Guacamole at lunch, avocado ads by dinner, whisper about weddings, catering ads minute later. Social media is overflowing with proof stories. Reddit, TikTok, Twitter, every day another thread. These coincidences spread like wildfire, and every retelling cements the legend. That's merely pattern seeking. Humans are wired for it. Exactly. Exhibit C. Psychology itself is Exhibit C, Your Honor. Have you ever heard about the frequency illusion? Once you talk about something, you suddenly see it everywhere. Confirmation bias, remembering the spooky hits, ignoring the countless misses. The defense is right, our brains play tricks on us, but that only makes the legend more powerful. Exhibit D. Expert testimony and research. Yes, it's true that investigators found no smoking gun of microphones running in secret, but experts testified to something even worse. Continue, prosecutor. The court acknowledges that perception can be as daunting as fact. Objection. That is That is just purely. That's pure speculation. All ads are targeted through data. Yes, that's true, but not microphones. You cannot equate paranoia with proof. Speculation? Then explain this. In 2024, an ad firm was caught pitching active listening software. The technology designed to target ads based on words overheard by devices. I see that major partners disowned it, but the very existence of that tech proved the idea is real. To them, the microphone myth wasn't fantasy anymore, it was fuel. The evidence is damning. Exhibit A, public belief. Exhibit B, viral stories. Exhibit C, psychology of coincidence. Exhibit D, expert testimony and industry whispers. Defendant, can you refute the voice of millions? Yeah. Coincidence. It's just a mere coincidence. Just a coincidence? These stories spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone had a creepy anecdote. I swear I never typed it. I only said it. Yet my phone knew about it. And so the case has deepened. A rumor became a legend. A legend became a conspiracy. And while the courtroom drowned in objections and denials, elsewhere in the quiet, someone was watching. A talented young boy with a sharp mind. Oh hey, what's up y'all? I was just watching the whole chaos, so you can keep snacking on. No tinfoil, just receipts. Is that cool? Alright, cool. Let's peek behind the curtains and figure everything out, so that everything is clear and we all solve this mystery. And while the courtroom drowned in objections and denials, elsewhere in the quiet, someone was watching. It is pretty fascinating. The prosecution drowns them in anecdotes and the defendant hides behind denials. Yet both miss the heart of the matter. It was never really about microphones. It was always about the trust. Strip away the noise and the pattern emerges. Like any good puzzle. The short version: denials don't land when the audience doesn't trust the platform. Let's look at the chart behind me. 2016, the first big denial. Facebook's official newsroom post was that Facebook does not use your phone's microphone to inform ads or change what you see in the news feed. They add that mic access happens only if you gave permission and you're actively using a feature that needs audio. like recording videos, or the 2014 opt-in feature in Facebook. This opt-in feature helps people with identifying music and TV shows while you are just typing. That 2014 feature is the seed of the whole confusion. You see, context matters. In that week, a University of South Florida story, Kelly Burns reignited the rumor that Facebook was listening for ads. Headlines, of course, overheated it, so Facebook pushed a clean, targeted denial and re-explained the 2014 Shazam-like feature. Burns later clarified she wasn't saying Facebook literally was spying on calls, but the coverage got, I would say, excitable. They were basically telling that they show ads based on people's interests and profile information, not what you're talking about loud. And it was only the access of the microphone was only with permission, and only while they're using a microphone based feature. Let's go to the next year, 2017. Rob Goldman, Facebook's VP of ads, goes on the record, quote unquote, "We don't and have never used your microphone for ads. It's just not true." 2018, Mark Zuckerberg in front of the US Congress calls it a conspiracy theory. He basically said, "We don't do that." On paper, it's consistent, repeated, and public, but by then, almost nobody was buying the denials. Why, you may ask? Well, because the coincidences felt too eerie, and big tech hadn't exactly earned a surplus of goodwill on privacy. Once trust is scorched, everything you say sounds like PR. Let's do a scale check. You see, over 1 billion users seeing dozens of ads per day equals billions of impressions every 24 hours. The pure probability guarantees that some ads will match something you just said, saw, searched, or even thought about recently. Add regular targeting with the interests, website pixels, lookalike audiences, location heuristics, contact graph overlap, and you get spooky accurate ads without microphones. We'll get into all of that later. Let me take a sip before we continue. You see, pure facts and math doesn't go viral. The quote, "My phone is spying on me," of course does. So it's pretty logical that the myth only grows further and further. And that's how we got this ritual. The "don't say it out loud, my phone will probably hear me and start showing ads." And don't forget the picture where Mark Zuckerberg had his laptop with a duct tape on his microphone and camera. But don't mistake it. It's also possible for hackers to hijack your camera and microphone. So it's, I give him a benefit of the doubt, you know. But let's continue. Apparently, whispering "I could use some guacamole" and you summon the avocado overlords with infinite guacamole. I mean, I won't complain, but the infinite rant ads, that's a hard pass. And so, the myth of the listening phone will not be solved in court, but in the detective's analysis. But by the way, what was your experience with being targeted, or maybe being spied on by the so-called big tech companies? Was it only pure coincidences, or maybe not? Let me know in the comments. Also, consider a subscribe and a like. It would help me a lot, and it helps me make more content like this. Thank you very much. So it's time to put the legend on trial. A case that has haunted, whispers, and sparked paranoia for years. And today, the judge is you, and the defendant is the device in your very hand. All this time, the blood, sweat, and tears, hours of scrolling forums and digging through rumors, and now it feels as if I've reached the final conclusion. So let's go through all the points and come to the final conclusion with the final answer. So is your phone actually listening through the microphone all the time? Well, the short answer is probably not. At least not in the way the rumors suggested. But, and it's a big but, that doesn't mean you're not being tracked. In fact, the truth is a bit more nuanced and possibly more disturbing than you already think. Let's break it all down.